How are you, Antonio? So much time. The last year at Backend we meet. So what a year for all for metal.
Hola chicos! So for metal and metal for all, thanks again for the invitation. Uh, we had a really nice time. I remember you last year in Back, and a lot of things happened since then. I mean, back then was our second concert of all the time for us in not the third. Sorry, the third. I'm losing a little bit. Woo! and since then we've been playing two tours and quite a few festivals, and we have a really nice season festival in August especially, and we are about to announce other two big tours for the beginning of the year. But now we are focusing on making our new record the most successful one.
Yeah, the new one, the Year of the Dragon, that you are launching in 23rd of August. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, and this is an important album because it's your second album, and you change from the anterior label to RPM. Why? Why this? Why did you decide to change this your label?
When we started the band in 2021, we were able to do that because my brainstorming with Tetzel, um, uh, and thanks to Tetzel, we were able to be hooked up in AFM Records back
Okay.
then because he's signed with Azenblut, his other band there. So we were able to meet Jochen Richard, former CEO of the label AFM Records. He fell in love with the project, and then he signed us, and he really put a lot of effort and a lot of commitment behind All for Metal. At the end of last year, he left. Jochen Richard left AFM Records to be CEO of RPM, and
Ah,
he really wanted us to follow him on his new adventure by RPM, brand new label. It was a little bit like transfer market, like football player.
yeah.
That the coach went in another team, and then they had to pay off the player from the other team.
Oh, I understand. So this new road starts with Year of the Dragon, your new album that you I just listened it. I am listening like 5 minutes, and it's very different from the all for metal from all for metal. First, you are looking like samurais and a lot of Japanese things. Why this? Why do you decide to change from warriors to samurais?
It's actually not a change, but all for metal world is a fantasy world.
Yeah.
So it's our all for metal fantasy world. And when we finished to record Legends, our debut album, we were on a crossroad. We could have decided to make Legends 2.0, or just to bring all for metal on a journey. And our journey not goes doesn't go just with our costume and with our image, but it goes also with musically. So we want to expand all for metal world, and we want to bring our characters, our warriors, our eight all for metal warriors, on the road. And this is what is gonna happen throughout our whole journey in the metal business. So we know already where we're gonna go next album. So we are gonna take the same base, but we're gonna change little things here and there in order to spice up and to not bore the people with always the same type of music and always the same thing. Because all for metal is based on the image that we have, and we have to keep this strong image, and how better what better than just bring ourselves into this journey like a fiction movie from the 90s.
Oh, cool. And what are the difference from All for Metal and Year of the Dragon? The most important difference, do you think?
Uh, Our first album was also a little bit experimental because we didn't actually know who we were as a band. We didn't have a lot of musicianship. Also, when we finished to record the album, we never played a live show before we finish the album. Instead, with this one, the new one, we learn from our mistakes. We grew as a band. We acknowledge all our strength points and our weaknesses, and we were trying to do it better. So now it was way faster and way easier to make this album, and we know that we wanted to have a little bit less of single as it was the first album, but the second album is more like musicianship. There's more music, there's more space to be harder, and it's just more metal. The second album because we had a little because we know where we stand and we know what we want to deliver.
It's more All for Metal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, what are the main influence behind your music, and how they shape to your sound?
Of course, the kings of metal, Manowar. Yes, yeah, exactly. Eric Eric Idams is one of the best singer ever walked on a metal stage. For me, is my hero, my vocal hero, and for us, is uh, they are really the people that we are looking up to, and the main influence of everything. But my personal influences as a singer are, of course, Tobias Sammet, a little bit more rock and roll, uh, Axl Roses, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. So, yeah,
The big
and
ones.
the big ones, yes, yes.
Yes. And how do you approach to the songwriting process, and what the themes do you often explore in your lyrics, uh, to explain to the people that doesn't know All for Metal?
So we are lucky because we're a lot of people working on songs, and the guy that has the most job to do is our producer Harmut Pech, which is the head of Elephant Music, who is producing also Santiano, Beyond the Black, Kiss and Dynamite, and
Yeah.
thanks for his help and his experience, we are able to deliver always a professional song and a consistent song. And it's really difficult to do it, especially since we are um, a cliche band, and I love it. We all love it to be warriors of the night
Yeah.
and warriors in a fantasy world. But then this makes us also in a com- in a square place. So we know that we have to sing. Mm, on certain topics. We're never gonna sing. I'm never gonna sing a ballad about my lost love in I don't know in
Yeah.
out of space or how many girls are getting wet hearing my voice.
it's
We're always gonna stay in the fantasy world.
it's warrior metal.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so how important is the visual aspect to your music, and how do you develop your stage presence? Now there are a lot of bands using cosplay or costumes. A week ago was here in Chile, Windrose, and they have a very huge concert with Dogma, the Nan band. So, what do you think about your distinct music visual style and the cosplay in metal?
It's not. I don't see it as a cosplay. I
No,
see it more like
cosplay is a word, but using costume because I think the people start to get connect with this, and they try to use costume to be like you and to have the same
impact. Yes,
experience.
Yeah, what we notice also with Ofro Metal, because that we're coming in actually in the right moment of the metal industry, that the people don't want to hear just music. Most of the 80% of the metal fans, they want to be entertained. They want to see a show, and a show is also costume, is also technical stuff on stage, or props, weapons, and all for metal is all of these, and all the bands nowadays, not just like Windrose, but also Powerwolf, Sabaton, which are the best around. They also wear costumes on stage, and they try to do this, not mimic, but to put entertainment as the first
Like seeing a
play.
movie,
Yeah, exactly. No, it's like more what going to a theater, watching
the
a
theater,
musical,
yes.
the theater. Then you see the people live, and then you enjoy the experience with these a lot of people on stage, a lot of happening, costumes. But I mean, not for bragging, but me and Tetsu, we won't wear, and we don't wear any costume. We barely wear costume because, as you also speak in market, our own costume is our own skin. So because we are half naked on stage the whole time, so our duty is to take care of alimentation and to work out a lot. So it's our costume you cannot buy. This is something really special for metal. And also all the body of our girls, our show girls, they are super fit. Well, the fittest girls in metal business, I think.
Yeah, uh, talking about the girls, not the girls in the guitar, but the dancers. When you start the band, uh, you always think that you have to need dancers. They are part of the band in the original idea, or they came when you start thinking about how to put this like a theater.
Um, at the very beginning, no. When we recorded the first three music videos, we were just five members, so also with just one guitar, because we still needed to understand how Wolf of Metal was. There was still a lot of brainstorming going on. Then, when we were talking about the show, it came up the idea. So, how do you think about having a dancer on stage? And I was like, yeah, let me ask my girlfriend, because my girlfriend is a professional dancer. And then she asked to one of her friends, and we were doing like a workshop at the beginning of 2023, 23, last 18 months ago, when before we started to deliver shows on stage. It actually worked, and now we are a group. We are an artist group where the band is also, for me, also the girls. They're really part of the band, they're part of the production, and for me, they are at the same level as the guitarist, the bass player, and the drummer. For me, there's no, because as I said before, they bring a hell of a show, and I'm really happy to have them around because it also brings our what we deliver on stage to another level, to something that not a lot of bands has have. So I really estimate what they're doing. I'm really happy to have like this block of eight people on stage, organized eight people,
Yeah,
because it's not what we do is never random. It's everything like spot on.
it's like a theater. It's a opera.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay, what has been the most challenging part of your musical journey so far? From Antonio Calanna and to All for Metal.
It's actually all for metal the most difficult part of my singing career, because I used to work and I'm still working in a lot of big productions in Europe, theater and musical production, when everything is organized and I have just to go there and sing. There are people that are literally cleaning my underwears after I finish. And instead with all for metal is always like uh, you have to put yourself. Okay, what can I do now? So I'm behind social media. I'm writing the scripts for the music videos. I have to write the songs, the costumes. the concept, the whole show. I have to organize all the technicians, uh, to drag the stuff around, to build stuff, to unbuild stuff, because it's a long way if you want to rock and roll. And but I really think that we are in a moment where there's gonna be the step up for us.
And what has been the most rewarding experience as you, as a member of All for Metal?
I think this is coming really soon because it's gonna be our release party in Hamburg, and I'm really looking forward to it because it's the our first headliner show, and we organized that because of the release of our album, and we sold out the show in 1 month. So
Wow.
we had to add another show on the day after, and this is gonna be these 2 days are gonna be the days where we're gonna be like, wow, we've done it all on our own. Just 1 year after we started, we already sold out two headliner shows in the same city, in the same place. So that is gonna be the moment where I'm gonna be like, yes, this is something really cool.
And then you are going on tour, yes?
Then we have this release week that is going to be kind of a tour because we start on the 22nd of August,
Yes.
Baltic Open Air Festival. Then we have a 23rd, 24th of August, All for Metal Cruise, our headliner show. And then we go to Hamburg where there are going to be um, some live event, and then we finish the release week with another show, which is, by the way, 50% sold out in
Yeah.
in Hamburg, where our label has its headquarter. But and then we have festivals. But then August is a little bit complicated because we actually go on Spain in a couple of weeks on the 7th of August. Then we have Switzerland, Rock the Lakes, and Rock Castle in Czech Republic. Then during the autumn winter we have some festivals. I don't remember all of them. And then, as I was saying before, in the next weeks we're gonna announce two big tours that we're gonna do in Europe at the beginning of the year, and we are working on something big for the second part of 2024 2025.
And when South America, when Chile?
We are working on it.
Excellent. So, if the people wants to All for Metal come to Chile or South America, has to say it. No, has to put in
Maybe
the
we're working on it. You know that when we are a band, we always want to go big and to organize everything. Of course, for us, since we're not that big, we're not like Windrose, so we cannot decide. Okay, we go headline a tour. We have still to go with another band. We have to find the right band to go on tour with. Maybe Dog.
okay.
We are gonna support Dogma. How was with Dogma?
No, Dogma was the supporter from
Yeah,
of Windrose.
but yes,
Yes,
but in 1 year they're gonna be headline
yes,
for
it's changing. All time is
uh,
changing. But I think it was amazing show. So, what do you think about the now? ah, Excuse me. What do you think about the current metal scene? Do you think it's getting bigger, or this in Europe or in the world? What do you think about the current metal scene? Is changing?
I think it's getting more of what we used to call pop people, because also, as you were saying before, the people are getting more into this theatrical move where not all the metal music is growling and screaming, but there's a lot of room for melodic stuff and a lot of stuff that could attract way more people than before. So, in my opinion, now is the I actually think now is the biggest moment of the metal scene. What I feel and what I think.
Wow. Okay, Antonio, one, I think two or three last question because you had another interviews later. So, um, could you share about upcoming projects uh, of you? No, the no only all for metal, but the Antonio Calanna's projects. Do you have another bands, another projects, another things?
I'm working. I'm about to strike a record deal. I cannot say more than this, but I'm working for my solo my solo career that would go parallel with all formats of arts. It was a lot to do in the last year and months with all formats. So now, after we finish this release, which is like, ooh, is really overwhelming, and then hopefully I'm gonna start my own things.
Wow, we were listening when it's ready. So Antonio, I want to thank to have time for us again. 1 year ago we were talking at backend. Now by internet it's okay. I want
Okay.
you to send a greeting to the Chilean fans, South America fans, to buy the new album, The Year of the Dragon, that you were launching in 23 of August by RPM, and to say to the RPM, bring us all for metal to Chile, bring us all for metal.
Hi guys, here's Antonio Calanna. Thanks for listening to Power of Metal. We really, yes, we really hope to come over there. And if you want that, share the album, listen to our music, and watch the videos. It's for free. And if you really, really want to support us, get the album. And if you all get the album, we are gonna be there really, really, really soon. And we are gonna rock all together South America.